In this part, we will continue to explore the resource-based views. In our last part, we looked at resource-based information without assignments, which brought us to the resource sheet. We want to stay with the resource sheet now, but this time with assignments. So in this case, if we look at resources with assignments, we'll see the tasks that each of these resources are assigned to. Again, we have the option of spreading it over time, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, or we may decide we just want to see total task information, assignment information for each of the resources. In this case, we're going to use the resource sheet with details, and we're going to split the window. We're going to pull up the blind to see what's in the bottom half of the pane. So let's go to Microsoft Project and see how this looks. When I'm in the resource sheet, if I wish to view resource details, I'm going to be on the View ribbon. I'm going to click the Details checkbox. And what's going to happen is whatever resource I'm clicked on, it's going to show me below which tasks these resources are assigned to. Now there's additional information I can show in the lower pane. You may recall from a similar part we did on splitting the Gantt chart that when I split a screen like a resource sheet or a Gantt chart, it tells me here in my notes, under note number 2, there's an upper pane and there's a lower pane part to this view. In the lower pane it says I can right mouse click. Okay, it also says there's other forms I can view. So let's explore these two notes. If I right mouse click, I can show work-based information for the resources. I can see the work, the overtime, the baseline, the actual, the remaining. I can see cost-based information. As a matter of fact, I could even put information here in if I wanted to. If I wanted to put in a timesheet that said this resource had 24 hours on a 48-hour task, and the remaining work is not 24 hours, but it's actually going to be an additional 30 hours, I could put that information in here and click OK. And we can now see that the work changed from 48 hours to 54 hours. If my baseline had been taken, I'd see a baseline of 48 and work of 54, and I would have generated a variance. So this can be used for input or output. So I show cost. I can show, again, notes about this resource. I can insert objects, spreadsheets, Word documents. And note also, when I check details, there are other forms I can look at. Okay, there's something called a resource graph. So I can actually graph how my resources are being utilized. In this case, if I go to task and scroll to task, if I'm in the top pane, it would move that time scale over. If I go back to view, details, I can put all different views down here. Again, I can move my divider up and down by dragging this little line. If I double click on it, it removes the divider. If I go to the base of the right hand scroll bar, I get a bidirectional arrow, and I can drag and review the details this way. In our next part, we'll go beyond the resource sheet and start exploring the resource usage view.